Awesome. So thank you for joining this space to explore your real voice. It's a space that it came up for me as my own necessity of discovering my own voice, and having been researching this space for the last uh, in a way like 2 years or more, and noticing that there is still so much in the way of my voice, in the way of what actually influences my voice and where I speak from, how I talk, how I say things. And I I shared this space with Nicole a few weeks ago, and she was a yes to holding space for this discovery space.
And where my yes came from was especially an experience that I had with Jorge about a year and a half ago, where he held space for me to experiment with my voice in a few different ways
Mm.
that I'd never done before. And this was, I'm not talking about, and I already was someone who'd done a lot of experimenting with my voice from having been an actress and a singer and a public speaker and a space holder for many years. So this space was extraordinary to
Mm.
me because it really was about what this space is about, which is discovering the origin of, I'm going to say, a more authentic voice until I can speak with my authentic voice. And something I'm scared about this space because
Mm.
you might not find your authentic voice, your real voice in this space in 1.5 hours. It might take years and years still to really
Mm.
come from the source of your authentic voice. And and this is also not a problem because it really is a discovery. And like Jorge was saying, this ever more discovering that, oh, where I'm speaking from right now isn't the source of my authentic voice, and living in this question of like, how about now? Is it now?
Yes, and what comes up as you're speaking is this thing that I've been discovering about my voice is the familiar voice. This voice for me that is I'm familiar with, that I'm used to speaking from, that I know my voice, and I've been calling that the voice box, or another word for that is like a vocal image. This image that you have that you project onto others, how you are perceived by others. And and my research has been about that, about like how, like, noticing when I'm stuck in my box, in a way, and it's taking me, this is such a liquid state for me, because it's like touches into my device of communication. And just as I was going to enter into this space, it was this liquid state about like, I'm not ready for this, and all these different voices that it creates like a contraction in the being, and that doesn't let my being express in a way that yeah. And I'm faced with this judgment of my own voice, of how I'm like beating myself up about it, and how this changes uh, my voice. So I think I want to experiment a little bit with this thing about your vocal image, and how essentially, like, you guys here, my team here, you can see so much about me that I cannot see about myself. And in this way, like I want to use the team to give feedback, to use your scanners to tell you like, what are you perceiving in my voice? Something like that. Like what are you getting from my voice? What am I not saying? What am I saying without saying it? And I also want to hear, yeah, from, if there is anything else, Nicole, that you want to add.
I, I want to, well, it's frozen on my screen right now, and I don't see John again yet.
Yeah.
But I
Mm.
do want to hear from Wout, and if John comes back, something about what brings you here. Like
Yes.
where are you coming from about your voice? What will you say?
Yes. There's a block that I keep coming back to over the years, and it is something about something in my throat that feels tight, and I've been peeling many layers off and many angles to look at that. And one of the recent discoveries is also that it might just be that my archetypal lineage has something to say. So not really that it's only a healing process of a past life or I was killed for not speaking my truth, but also maybe just my archetypal lineage wanting to start using me or moving through me. And so just it's been very clear for me that there's some work around free expression for me. I got that feedback from the Rage Club team. I mean, as well, just free feelings expression. Like, how do I really let my heart, let my voice speak in this fluid way, not in this monotone, rigid, I am wowed, this and that. So the heart operates in different tones of voices, and so all of that I want to, yeah, I think I'm in the right space. I think this is a space for me today, and that's why.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. I love that. Like what lands for me about what you said is that there are processes to be done that are about removing blocks and getting the real voice back. So that, and this might happen in this space, that you discover a next process, or maybe a couple, that you add things to your EHP list of EHPs to do. And along with processes, then there can be experiments. And the and this is what this space will be about, is the experiments and the discovery of maybe EHPs, but also of what else is possible. And this something I've discovered about it is that there's this isn't about going from one box voice to another box voice. What you were saying, Jorge, about how voice can come from like my identity, my how I'm trying to be seen by other people, which is very different from how I am, from what, and like what you said. Well, if my archetypal lineage has things to say, and if I don't say them energetically, they might be there for a while, but then I might be trying to, be like a sexy goddess healer woman, or a wise stoic, you know, I could have all these personas, all these identities that I'm coming from, not so much unconsciously, but I'm trying to come from that. And this
Mm.
is about coming from somewhere different inside myself. And yeah, so I'm remembering, Jorge, that in our space long ago, there was this part about experimenting with coming from different places inside myself. Where all can I come from? And I propose that we start with some sound making where maybe you're coaching us to come from different places in ourself or something like that. And I feel scared that John's not back. Do you see anything from him?
I'm reading his message. I sent it twice, and I suspect that it landed in his spam box. So I just told him check in the spam. Yes. Yeah, so
And you didn't get a reply in your email that it bounced back?
he's in. He just joined in.
Oh, great.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember quite well exactly the experiment that we did, Nicole.
No problem. I think like maybe I can even hold space for it.
Yeah.
From what I have right here, right now. Welcome back, John.
Yes.
And
thanks. Made it.
Yes, there's an experiment on the bench, but before I bring it, will you say something, John, about where you're at about your voice and what brought you here?
What brought me here is just to learn my connection with Jorge, and I want to learn, and yeah, I want to learn more and do these processes and be alive and be present.
Great, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, my voice, and I'm not sure what you meant by my voice.
Yeah, so in a way, this space is for exploring your relationship with your voice. Like, where are you speaking from? How are you speaking, and really getting to that space closer and closer to your authentic speaking, where you speak authentically from your being.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah. Where am I expressing from?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this space is like for exploring that, and and actually some practices too, and experiments that we're gonna be going into about noticing what different places you can express from.
And that's the purpose of this first experiment. And so what I invite you to do is turn off your microphones just so that you can all hear me, because I'll keep speaking, and that way the sounds that you make won't come into the space and interrupt, because I wouldn't do this if we were in person, but on Zoom it's kind of a one voice at a time thing. So if you would each turn off your microphones, and then just start making a sounds. Like it could be with words, it could be without words, but just start making a sounds. And while you're making them, notice where they're coming from. Like really scan and notice, where is your voice coming from? And I'm doing it too while I speak. So go ahead and make the sound and notice where it's coming from, and maybe put your hand where, or you might need two hands. I kind of have this experience where it's coming from my chest, but it's also coming from my pelvic area. And so keep sounding or talking, and then come from your left shoulder. Let your voice come from your left shoulder. Like talk and or make noises, whatever sound it is, coming from your left shoulder. And now have your voice come from your right knee. Even if you don't know even how you would do that, just do it anyway. Be speaking from your right knee.
Just want to ask, do you want me to be doing it right now?
Yes,
Okay.
be doing it. This wasn't instructions and then you do it. Yeah, go. Now move it so that your voice is coming from your left big toe. So all the sounds you make, this, if it's a hum or talking, is coming from your left big toe. And now choose another part of your 5 bodies, or maybe of your physical body at first, to come from. And speak or make sounds from there for several moments. And now choose another place to speak from. And go ahead and make some sounds from that place. And now choose a space that's across the room where you're speaking from a spot away from you. And notice how it changes, how your throat is working, how things sound from inside of you. And now bring your voice back to your attention, your energy, and speak from your physical and energetic center, deep down, a couple inches below your belly button. Speak from that place, sound from that place, and then come to a stop. And when you've come to a stop, will you turn on your microphones again?
Whoa. Seems like John left again.
Yeah, I think he was frozen for a little while and
Okay.
then it cut out. Here he is. Welcome back. What did you discover from doing that?
I really like the coming from the center. The voice has this warmth to it, this timbre, this like, yeah, just felt good. The other places, the corners, was a little trippy, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. John,
John, you're muted. Go.
It was more difficult to come from my toe and my shoulder and things like that. It was easier to come from my belly. That felt real. And it was difficult to come from the corner of the room. I think I was thinking about it. I was having a hard time really connecting with my voice coming from there.
Yeah. Did you do it though?
I did it as best I could. I just did it.
Yeah. And how did it go when you did it?
I don't know. It was like, okay. As Wall said, it seemed a bit abstract. It felt like I was like, okay, my voice, I just did it. Okay, there's the corner of the room, and I spoke. And I just expressed.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So
I noticed that there was a way where I was, part of my voice was coming from my center the whole time. And then there's a way that when I moved it, it would come from there too and everywhere in between. Like when I put my attention and when I came from these other parts of my physical, energetic body and other parts of the space, it kind of spread my voice out somehow where it was a lot of it was coming from here, but there was almost like another edge to it. And I wondered about, is this how people make their voice fill a whole room? Or do they come from the whole room? Or do they come so much from their center that it fills the whole room? I had never had that thought before that I remember.
Yeah. I noticed, I don't know, for me it was funny that when I started speaking from my left shoulder, it was like a deeper voice, like and then as soon as it moved to the knee, like the sound just changed, and it was like more like and I don't know if this is like, but it's like the vibration was different on my knee, and then when it went into the toe, it was like a very different sound. And what I what I said, like I noticed when I was in a different corner of the space, it's like it was outside of me. It was like outside, and at the same time, it was like there was a line between my voice and the where it was. And I had this question: is this how ventriloquists project their voice? That was my question about it. Some people that can like project their voice and make it sound like they're coming from somewhere else. I haven't researched that. And when it came from the center, I felt scared that my voice sounded so different to what I'm used to. And it sounded in a way there was some resistance here, but then like I noticed there was resistance of my voice coming out from my center, and there was something in the throat, so it sounded like a lot more like into the space, like speaking to the space or speaking in a way that it was different. And the difference is in like the volume, not the volume in the sound, but the texture of it felt like fuller. There was something fuller about it. And just one more thing I want to share is like I haven't done this experiment, Nicole, before. I don't know how we arrived here, and it's awesome to have that moving the my source of origin of my voice from one place to another and starting outside and then moving it to the center was like this more real, like, oh, it's in the center now. Like now it's in the center, and I could feel that difference when it was outside or in different parts of my body, and when it was in the center, it landed differently. Yeah.
Well, thank you for experimenting with me. And yeah, what comes next for me is this, something more about how it's gone for me over the years, about my voice becoming more real, at least compared to how it was. A couple months ago, I was listening to old voice recordings that I had stored on my phone. I thought, oh, maybe I said something worth writing down or worth keeping. And what I discovered was that most of what I was saying was just bullshit. It was pontificating, and my voice sounded so different to me. These are recordings from 4 and 5 years ago. I sounded like a completely different person to me. I sounded like I was really coming from this identity that I had, really coming from my box
Mm.
of what I was trying to be in the world.
Mhm.
And something that made a huge difference was to do 333 anger. I think that 333 anger, I think you all know what I'm talking about. This 3 minutes, 3 times a week for 3 months had a very had consequences for my voice and my ability to speak from my center, and also doing the other three feelings, sadness, fear, and joy, in 333 also it helped me notice how I can come from. Also, my voice would be like colored by my feelings, and so I highly recommend those experiments for anyone who wants to find or relocate your authentic voice. Yeah.
What what's coming for me now is that it's a work at in different bodies. I see that there is like a work in the physical body, in like the actual muscles, how you structure your muscles, how strong your muscles are, how much you haven't trained them, even like how much you open your mouth, or how much you like keep your mouth closed, the throat. So this is like the on the physical body, and the let's say like if you're trying to run a marathon, or if you're trying to run a 100-mile sprint, uh, that you can't do it like all at once. Like there is a condition that the muscles are in, uh, that it needs a reconditioning, something like that.
Mm.
And with the rage practice, this was also a life changing for me about my voice. And I also I noticed the change that it was for me. And at first, I got my throat got really sick. I lost my voice for some time. Yeah, I lost my voice. It was like hurting, and now with the more after doing it for more time, that doesn't happen anymore. Like
Yeah.
somehow my voice had gotten to that point where it can be loud, it can scream, I can be talking for 2 hours, I can do throat singing, and I still feel it, like there is a sensation. It's not like I haven't lost sensitivity in it, but there is a more like endurance, or there is like a more maturity to it. I can run a marathon, something like that.
Jorge, is there an experiment that you have about something like, yeah, is there a next experiment that you have for us to do here?
Uh, yes. Uh, I don't know if it's to do here, because it's like 2 or 3 experiments right now that are in my field. Uh, but I want to share about one experiment. I don't know if it'll be for doing here. I think it might be more for like something that you can do at home for the next month or two, or some time for the next time. For really like going to those different places where you can speak from, those different levels, and to like get the different muscles that you might not be using in your throat. I guess I'm working more on the physical body. um but what I've been doing is, I've been taking the kids books, what I'm reading to my kids. And when I'm reading them, I do this thing that is called the ambulance siren, where it's like the ambulance sirens were like, "Woo." So it goes from like these deeper sounds to like really, really high sounds. And the practice is to read the kids' book with like coming out of your normal voice, coming out of like this like place where you might be holding on your voice in the normal place. And I guess like, yeah, like I'm like the clarity I'm getting now is that is working at different levels, at different bodies. So there is so as you're reading the book, yeah, you just like go, once upon a time in the village of Yorkshire, there lived a little doll that had a little button on his shirt. And one day they went out into the forest and fought. And this kind of like is gonna help to shake up your box about it, shake up your vocal box about it. And I said, oh, that's not my voice, but it's gonna get you to these places, different places of that your voice can make sounds. It's like you have a whole keyboard that you can express from, and we're used to like just using these 3 to 5, 5 to 8 eight keywords when you have like the whole range that you can express from, and that can be really fun. I don't know, I'm experimenting with that, and yeah, so that's an experiment. I don't know if it'll be for this space, but I want to like share it for you to try it out. It's really fun.
Thank you. I wrote it down. And in a way, that's the kind of there are a lot of places to go for voice lessons, say, or range of voice lessons, or singing lessons, or like giving speeches, kind of voice development. And yeah, what I want to kind of discover here is something else, like something else about this. Isn't about having a voice that has, a lot of range, or, I mean, it's also not about staying in the limitation of the range that is your habit voice, is the voice that you have a habit of using. So it's like there is voice yoga where you're just going in all these different directions using your vocal muscles and maybe your thoracic muscles differently in ways you've never used them, like in a yoga class. It's like people discover muscles they didn't know they had, and they discover moves they didn't know they could make. And so there's like expanding the voice box so that you have more possibility. And then there's this honing in of where else to come from. In a way, it's like box and being, I think, that it's not about coming from a different box. It's about coming from this authentic being space. And I mean, yeah, Rage Club has been amazing about that, especially when it comes to saying no and saying yes, and where that comes from. And maybe this is a great next experiment. I've done that experiment over and over and over, but I learn new things every time.
Mm. I remember one of the experiments that we did a year and a half ago in that session is we go into first position. So we went into first position, going through like the steps of centering, grounding, and bubbling. And then what I guided you was to start making sounds from there, to start letting the sounds come out. And this could also be another next step of allowing the sounds. I don't know if you, and I would like to like leave the mics open for hearing the sounds that come out too. Yeah, how is that for you, Nicole?
I also have an idea. Just want to make myself a little bit more visible here somehow before I do that. Okay, I go with this. So the flyer of this event was, you have something to say to the world, and the world wants to hear it. And I don't feel we're going there right now. And I have a desire to go there because that's what the flyer said. And so what I'm getting is maybe something more like a dragon speaking-ish space. Like let's just open the throat and see what comes without needing to know how, or maybe without even clear rules or something. Just, okay, what is these things that the world around us need to hear, and go. And just keep going for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or something like that. How does that work for you guys?
Great. I'm in.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Will you
I
hold
feel
space for
glad.
that experiment? Wow.
Sure. Yes. Okay.
So can you
So,
say it again, just so I open my throat and make sounds and experiment for 2 minutes?
okay, John, you can go first, and I'll just share. What I read on the flyer of this event was, you have something to say. The world around you is waiting to hear it. All of it. Starting now. ... So will you go with that for 3 minutes, John? Now.
Yeah. Okay.
Go. Okay.
I want to say that I want to just let my voice out and I don't want to think about it. And I want to just speak from center and just say, whatever, just stop. I don't want to think about it. Just like no or stop or yes or just like whatever is in my body. I don't want to come from up here. I just want to let it come through right now. And it feels like it's really good to move my body. I love moving my body. Woo. Yeah,
Yeah,
that feels really
go.
good. Woo. Yeah, and I just I want to be loud. I want to be really loud. I like what Jorge was saying. Just like I want to woo. I just scream and
Go.
oh yeah, and then I want to settle down and really feel.
Mm.
Oh yeah. Oh, that feels good to just settle and yeah, not think about it is great. Just like whoa, I could say anything here. I'm looking at I'm in my bedroom. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm feeling like, wow, I'm feeling like a fool here. I'm just blah, blah, blah. Just, yeah, that feels good.
What do you care about? Will you
That's
speak
funny.
about
I'm
something that you,
happy.
yeah.
What?
Well, awesome. Will you share what you care about, something that you care about, Jon?
What I care about?
That you want
Yeah.
the world to hear.
What do you
What do
want?
you
What do
have?
Yeah,
I want the word? I want the world to hear
go.
that I care about being authentic. I care about being real. I want to be honest. I care about that. I want to hear honesty from other people. I want to hear what is important to them. And important to me is world peace, to be peaceful and kind with everyone, and not to be, to be taking care of the world, taking care of each other, taking care of the environment.
Yeah.
That's really important to me. Yeah, that there's not so much, peace, world peace and harmony and just taking care of the earth.
John,
That's
will you
really
for the
important
last
to me.
minute try the experiment of slowing down to half of the pace
Yeah,
you were speaking at?
yeah, that's good. I really, yearning. I have this yearning for just peace and harmony and not to hear about all this pain and struggle and killing in the world.
Mm.
I would like to hear yearning. I have this deep yearning to just hear we're all trying. Like we're all trying our best to have peace and harmony, and we're
Mm.
all trying to help the planet. Yeah, that's what I'm yearning so much to hear. And I want to just, I want to learn and grow. I want
Mm.
to create peace around me. And yeah, I want to be generous. I want to be open-hearted. I want to give and
Mm.
help people if I can. Yeah, I don't want to hold on to my smallness or anything. Yeah. So, oh, thank you. This feels good to share.
Thank you, Jon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Yeah.
John.
Thank you for thank you for this. Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
happy.
and thank you for going first.
Yeah. Thank you, Walt, for just speaking up.
Yeah. So I'm not the co-creator here, but or maybe I am, I don't know. Anyways, my question is, there's a possibility now to give John maybe one thing you heard that touches you most back, each of us, or we just go on to the next person. Yeah. What do you say?
I would, my sense is that to say what touched us most is one way of giving feedback. And another, my understanding was that the purpose of it is to practice bringing what you have to say to the world out.
Yeah.
And so I propose that we do like each, I don't know, maybe set the timer for a minute and we go popcorn style just for 1 minute, all three of us giving him coaching about what he could try like in the future so that he can continue to be able to speak more and more what he has to say in the world.
Okay, I have a go. Any resistance? Great, off we go.
Yeah, I got the first one.
My
So-
coaching is, John, I heard you say a lot, I want to say this, and that's my coaching is to experiment with just saying it. Instead of saying I want to say it and see if that's different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The slowing down, that part where what Wout called to slow down, that could be a really good, awesome tool to land the message that you're landing, that you have this bigness and then you can slow down, and that was really powerful. I landed, it's time is taken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly that. I recognize you as somebody who's willing to be spontaneous and jumping in, and I saw that. And I would say keep experiment with other ways of what you know, like the slowing down. So thank you for your willingness.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more that we sharing. Something about stop, like using this word stop, like keep, like maybe going to a space or practice where you can say stop it now, stop, something like that. You can like hear your voice saying stop. That's kind of non-linear, but that's
Yeah. Okay.
cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
All righty. I will go next. I want the world to hear that I have something to say, and I feel scared of saying it because I feel scared of the consequences of what it will create in the world. I feel scared of how I might be persecuted, or how I'm gonna be killed for saying what I say. And I want to say that it's the isolation. I'm angry. I feel angry about the isolation that I'm living in, and that I see my neighbors living in, and that the isolation of the mothers, how the mothers are living in this isolation. And I feel angry at how much it is covered. I cover in this thing that I can't let it out because it's dangerous, because we're supposed to be living okay, that we're happy, we're fucking happy people, and that is such a bullshit. I'm angry because there is people that we're suffering, our families are fucking like depraved of connection, depraved of like reality and life and real food and real intimacy, connecting with people and playing. And I want the world to hear this. I don't want to be shut up about this anymore. I want to say it out loud. I want to be screaming about this, and that it pours through my being that I'm taking a stand for this. I am up to it. I am done with this. That's enough. That I'm letting this thing keeping going in this way. That I am closed off, and I feel scared of going out there. And there is families right now where I'm craving for connection, for realness. I'm craving for something real. And it's so messy. It's so fucking messy. I'm such a mess. And I feel scared of being seen in this mess and in being seen in this madness. Because it doesn't fucking make sense. I'm angry, I'm scared, I'm sad, and I don't want to fucking put it together. I fucking I want to feel this thing together. I want to be seen in my grief, and I want to see you in your grief. I want to see your craziness, not this.
Thank you, Jorge.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jorge.
Okay, 1 minute feedback. Go.
Thank you.
Yeah, it worked for me, Jorge. It seemed like you were really coming from wherever was next. You just kept coming with whatever was next. And yeah, this gives me space to also do that, like, or clarity to also do it.
Okay, I go. Jorge, there was one point when you said it's fucking bullshit. The way you brought it to coaching, so the way you brought it is, for me, energetically, it felt like it's bullshit. And what I want you to try is it's bullshit. Like really aim it, not just bring it so a little unaimed. Just aim it. Will you try that in another space or later?
It's bullshit.
Go. Yes.
Yeah.
Little more. Little sharper. Sharper.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, getting there.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
keep
just
trying
something there to look at. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Jorge, I felt you were strongly expressing the whole time. But yeah, when you got more into the emotion, brought more emotion, then I felt it stronger. But the whole time I felt your being was, yeah,
Thank you.
that's all.
Thank you, John.
I want to go next.
Oh,
Go.
I'm experimenting speaking as Gaia, speaking from Gaia. I have things I think Gaia has to say, and I'm a mouthpiece for Gaia. The time has come. The time is now to stop pretending, to get really real with yourself about what you're really alive for, because time may be running out. I can't even tell if time is running out or has already run out, but this is your time. This is your chance. This is the time you have to be and do what you're here to be and do. And just stop pretending. Stop saying it's cool when it's not cool. Stop saying you're happy when you're not fucking happy. This is lies. This is living lies. And this is not what I created you for. I created you for being me, being this vibrant jewel in space. You are the jewels. You are the ones that I gave birth to. I gave rise to you so that you would each be a facet of me, collaboratively creating this next version of me as a planet, as a living being, spiraling through space. It could be ending. It will end for each of you. It will end. And this is your chance. Are you with me? Are you with me? Don't answer. Show me. Show me. Be with me as your answer. Be me as your answer. I cannot be more fully alive until you are each more fully alive. I call you to life. I am pushing life up from my center into you. energetically, through food, through air. I'm depending on you. I'm relying on you to be alive ever more fully. Yes, like that. Wow. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Let me live through you as you, so we can be it. Where the whole universe is watching.
Yes. 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 I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm here with you. I receive
so
you. I
sad.
receive this message.
It's so much a mess. I feel so sad about it.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't want it. I don't want to face that world. I don't want to. Oh, I don't like it. Oh, oh, oh. No.
Does anyone have coaching for me about what worked, what didn't work, what I could try?
Yeah. It worked. Yeah, this part about there is no time. Like when you're like, that's when it felt the highest, the bigger, this like big clarity. We have no time. There is no time. That worked.
And nobody's willing to say it. And yeah, sorry, I'm reacting because I'm so touched by what you were doing. It worked for me. My whole being shook up to the core to connect to what is true for me in my heart. So it worked. And yeah, I'm not in a space to give feedback now. So I give it to John. And thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nicole, that spoke powerfully to me and my anguish and fear and all the feelings around the earth, and I feel your cry from a deep cry. So yeah, and it was also difficult, just like the pain of that's inside me about the earth. Difficult to feel it, but good. Felt a real cry of pain. So I really appreciate how much you let yourself express. Yeah, it just felt like, because that pain is in me.
Thank you.
I have this question, Nicole. Is I don't know if it's coaching or as a question. It comes up as a question right now. Like, is it bigger? Like, I had the sense. I have this suspicion that it might be bigger, like really big, like something massive. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much. Yeah, I feel joy because I did it. I did it for 3 minutes, and I, even as I was doing it, it was like Gaia was coaching me, and it's like, oh, that's not quite it. It's more this way somehow, and like, yeah, it's I really had the experience of being Gaia in an individual woman.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for going there and for bringing it.
I think that is the way. That is the way to finding your authentic voice. Is just putting any box we have aside and letting Gaia speak through us to our unique channel in whatever way.
Yeah, is this in a way, this is my experience. I've been coming from further and further and further down toward my center, and then when I hit my center, it was as if my grounding cord then just like jacked into my center, And then it's speaking for Gaia.
Mhm.
And I want to experiment with doing this, because what I've been really missing is, when I'm not doing that, what I've been missing is that I speak to someone else as if they're not part of Gaia, as if there's some kind of enemy or problem about Gaia. And
I don't know, it touched me so much, and for me, it's like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, just witnessing everything that's going around, and here I am, this small individual. And oh, what can I do? I feel my feelings and I feel touched, and yeah, I don't have much more clarity right now. I know when you speak, Nicole, then something awakens in me, and I'm also fucking angry about, yeah, what the fuck is going on here? And why are also what Corey said, why is it happening the way it is? Why are the things happening the way they are happening, in the sense that we all acting like nothing is happening in the supermarkets when we walk next to each other? Well, the fucking world is on fire. This world is on fire right now, and nobody's acknowledging it. It's insanity. It's fucking insanity. And I cannot do that anymore. I'm the one that thinks I'm insane. Well, actually, it's the other fucking way around.
Will you put on the timer and keep going? I think you
Yeah.
started.
Yes, go.
Yeah, so how it lands for me is, there's a cultural insanity going on right now, and I take it to be that I'm insane, and it's not true. So just because this world is so turned upside down and it doesn't work for anybody, actually, especially not for the planet we're living on. So yes, it is time, really time, for the next new culture, feelings, and trusting them. Yeah, that trusting our feelings is not making schemes and plans and books and structures, and fuck that. Our
Go,
hearts know what's true. They feel they have
go,
everything we need. So this insanity of trusting books and institutes and theories and structures, and fuck
go.
that! It makes me fucking insane! I can't handle it anymore!
Yes,
Holy
go.
shit!
Go out and notice your throat too. Like as you're doing this for these next few minutes, notice how your throat, and keep
Yeah,
going.
let it up through your grounding cord. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work for my sensing apparatus. This thing that's beating inside of me, that is made of everything around me. It's just too much discord. It doesn't work, and I something needs to change. I can't do that any longer. It's just
Bring possibilities.
yeah. So I feel all the feelings right now, and okay. The one thing the world needs to hear is simple. It's one sentence. It's feel your feelings. Like what more? There's not more. It's super simple. It's super simple. And we're these fucking people that try to make it complex. It's insanity, like I said. It's just feeling our feelings, listening to our hearts. And the time is up. Do not do that anymore. So yeah. I said everything. It's just waste of space right now. I'd rather feel my feelings than speaking more.
Keep
Yeah.
speaking.
Yeah.
There's a bottomless source of
Yeah.
stuff in there.
Do both at the same time.
Yeah.
Feeling and speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Time's up, and thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Well, I saw you. I don't know if it was, I could tell that it was like your voice tube and your Gaia cord were like, stuff was coming up and through, and then sometimes missing a little bit, and it was like, it's almost like a kind of inner target practice to navigate from that click together space where Gaia and you are the same thing. Like, you're in your kind of extension cord of Gaia, or your, yeah, it's like, it's so multidimensional. It's hard to put words in it, but I saw it. It was like you were getting there. The practice was working.
Yeah. Yeah, there was this part, wow, where you use, like, I saw your like throat like open up, and there was this energy coming out from your throat that really, like, whoa, this is what's real voice. And it freaked me out because it's so real, and it's so, the volume of it, the texture of it changed. And there was a few parts in the video, in the, yeah, when you were doing it, that it really landed.
Yeah.
Like your voice changed, like the sound changed, the quality of the sound, and what you were saying, it changed. If you want, like, maybe you can review the recording and see it. It's really powerful. And the other times
Will
it
you
was like,
say which part? Can you
yeah,
retell out of head now, or?
yeah, it was
Just
when,
watch it. Just
yeah,
watch it. You'll
yes,
see.
yeah, you definitely see it. And the other part that I was noticing is the contraction. There was a part where it's like, like contracting that, so the energy couldn't come out. So it will come out in this like little, like tiny, like a smaller voice, like a kid voice, because there's a lot of pressure here. And then when you were opening that, it was like the air had a space to come out, and the message, the energy, that had a space to come out. And yeah, man, I touched this thing that you landed. Feel your feelings. It's that simple. That brought me, that touched my being, and I want to say this to others. I want to take that message and share it with others. Thank you.
What do you have to say, John?
Yeah, I really heard when you were saying, well, feel your feelings. It's like a wake-up call. And you just stayed with that. And that felt, I really heard that. And there was one point where I felt like, oh, I wanted you to growl or something, or I was thinking there was a growl there. And rather than from here, it would be here, coming from deeper. And yeah, some feedback I got too is connect the feelings when I'm talking. Sometimes I would talk, and then sometimes I would feel. So I think somebody said it. Just keep feeling, keep feeling. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's it.
Thank you. I just want to add a few words myself after hearing you. I really felt so much self-love when it was coming through. Also this recognition, like, yeah, this is me. This is why the fuck I'm here. And I love that part of me that takes a stand for Gaia and that uses all of my force for her. It's just so natural. It's like it makes sense. And I see myself standing in front of groups of people, 20, 30, maybe 50 more, and just using that voice and just making and shaking them the fuck up. Because yeah, we don't have any much more time. So what the fuck, you know? And I've tried to do this in a festival for 100 men, and I was too scared to let it rip all the way. So yeah, I'm happy to be in training spaces for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that. I wrote down what I got from what you said is that this speaking as Gaia is the kind of me as Gaia, letting Gaia love me and letting Gaia be me, and that my job is to get the parts that are in the way of that out the way, and even those are Gaia. They're just kind of in the wrong place. Like, a lot of things are just they're not in a place that works.
Yeah.
And if we just move them around a little bit, it gets there.
Yeah. I just want to speak a bit more to that, Nicole. Every time I hear you speak, my sadness comes up from whatever is going on. And I just want to add to that. I think it's telling me also that it's like every space I'm in nowadays, and I've been feeling this for years, like 3 years. It's like every person I meet or space I'm in that is not fully present, dedicated to Gaia's evolution in this point of time, I feel like I need to take them and shake them and shout to them. And I've not been doing that because it would be classified as insanity. While if I let Gaia move through me, it's completely sane. So yeah, I just want to say that. And I don't know, I'm looking for a way to channel this because I feel, yeah, this is my purpose. This is why I'm here. And I don't find how to channel it in a way that I don't destroy anything because I have so much fear of my power.
Yeah.
And yeah, I keep it.
Yeah, and this is why there's rules. You know, there's just a handful of rules. Don't hurt anyone. Don't hurt yourself and don't get arrested. And there are ways, like I think you experienced this here today. There are ways to shake someone up with your voice, with your words. They might not even be loud. You know, it might be so simple as, how can you handle being alive without feeling? How can you do it? Like, I really want to know. I have this question for my mother, and she's someone I've wanted to shake. I've wanted to like hurt her because I feel so much anger. But that's not Gaia. If I was speaking as Gaia, I don't know what I'd say, but I have that now. I have more clues, more tips and hints about how I can notice she too is Gaia. And I don't want to kill her. I want to shake her up, and it's some kind of 5-body communication I can make that comes from my center, that comes from my grounding cord, and it's really what I have to say. I've just heard myself say that. It's really what I have to say. It's my real voice. It's my real message.
Nicole, yeah, can I jump in there?
Yeah.
So I just have something for you. I wonder how would you approach this woman if she wasn't your mother?
Well, she's not my mother, actually.
Okay, well, you know what I'm saying. If you
Yeah,
didn't have the bond you have with her, if she's just a person you meet and she has the same energetic signature, what would you do different? Would you do
yeah. Well,
something?
this is what I'm learning to do it different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also, like, I have this clarity now that, well, it came through. I am no longer my children's mother. That woman died. She died of a broken heart. And I don't yet know how the only place I can come from that is right here, right now, from the reality of that. And so often my attention goes into the future. What will I say? What will I do? How would I say it? How would I do it? And I keep, this is what I had since this Jorge and Volker held space for me on Tuesday. And this is where I found myself, was in this small here and now where I don't know how it goes. I'm doing it as I go by being here.
Go.
Because this is the time I have. The only time I have is right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nicole.
Another part that comes up is about this shaking. I get it. And having children, like now that I have children, it's like I cannot do that. I cannot just like grab my children and shake them. Like, why don't you get it? Why are you peeing in the floor? Why are you peeing in your pants? Or why don't you brush your teeth? So it's like it doesn't work. Like something about it doesn't work. It creates more hurt than something else. So as a parent, like I've been really in this research for like being the heartbroken, like something else is possible. Like really something else is possible other than that. So my invitation will be to like consider like, what if this was your children? You are grown up, you are an adult, and they might not know what they're doing. They might really don't have that learning curve that you've had about feelings and about other things, about sensitivity to living in earth. And yeah, like how, like what is their next initiation space? What is the next teachable moment? We call it these teachable moments, when there is an opportunity for teaching something or for learning something. And yeah, that would be my kind of like my invitation.
I hear you. I have two things to that, and I feel some fear that maybe John can be a little bit more allowed space to speak or bring something in. I don't know, but I'll just bring shortly in what I have, and then I'll open it.
Sure.
So I feel some fear that what you say, Jorge, I think part of what I hear both you say is like the word patience. Am I hearing between your words? Or that how it's landed for me? It's that, yeah. So just instead of like shouting now, I bring patience to the people and their process. And at the same time, there's this ticking time bomb of planet Earth we're on, which makes me go, I know, fucking now.
Well, I'm
And
talking
so
about results, like about sorry to interrupt. Yeah, like I'm talking about results. Like what do you get? Are you getting the results that you want when you're shaking somebody?
I haven't, yeah, I haven't been, I've been too scared to do that.
Mm,
And sometimes I think it actually worked in workshops or retreat settings. Then it's really like a thankful wake up sometimes.
mm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be in an experiment with that.
Yeah. Something about finding the right channel for the anger is what I hear all of us say actually. So yeah, have to keep experimenting and welcome more
John,
possibilities. Yeah.
John, do you have something?
Well, the passion, like really feeling the passion, the excitement of this experiment of letting ourselves just speak what we want to shout to the world, what we want to say to the world. Like, and what's, because I have all this, just this morning I was thinking, like, why isn't every country and every person on the planet trying to, as much as they can, to create peace, to do everything they can to stop these wars? Like, why? Like, I just, like, we should, it just came to me that this is insane. We could be doing so much to stop war. We're just, so yeah, it feels good to express that. Like, that's just healthy, and that's what needs to be shouted. Yeah,
Or maybe just asked, like you could
yes,
take a clipboard and write it down and go to your neighbors and say, what stops you from doing more to end war? I really
yeah,
want to know.
yeah, right.
You
What's in
might
the
get
way?
clues, you know, you might get clues about, and then you get to have the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
I
Yeah, like
also,
coming, I don't understand this world coming from there. I don't understand, why aren't we all stopping war? Ugh.
yeah,
So this,
and
yeah, this
you know,
feels really good to be, just coming from this place of like, what is going on here?
yeah, and I mean, there's this short answer that's like, because we haven't learned how to do something else yet. We just haven't. Like, as individuals, like people who come to spaces like this are in that question. And I, as a devoted, since I was 14 years old, like person who was devoted to ending war, I I have been in war with myself still. I've been in war with in so many different ways. And to not do that and to do something else, it takes at least 650 websites, you know, information that populates at least 650 websites from Clinton's research that started in the mid 70s. I was 5 years old. And our space is almost finished here. And like, I want to ask, like, what experiments, what do you want to take? What are you taking from this space to put into action, or to as a next step?
Mhm. I have something about that I want to share. Uh, when this space came first for me, the get your voice back, get your real voice back. It came up as a practice space. It came up really like it wasn't just a one space. I knew like you can do all of this in one space. Like so much is gonna come up.
Yeah.
So it's like really like I want to like either like a consistent practice space or having like a 6 week, 5, 6 weeks series where we will meet regularly and actually like do just what we did today. Something like what we
Yeah.
did today. Just like let that speak, let that dragon speak, and that will be like my next proposal that this gets created that as a space for that, for letting that part of you speak, letting it bring in and getting that X in the map like more consistently. Okay, like bringing it and then trying something else next week and then trying something else.
Yeah.
And then yeah, like creating that really like more anchoring into like, okay, this is my being, this is when I'm speaking from Gaia. And yeah.
I love it. This is what I wrote down too. It
Mm-hmm.
was, speak as Gaia, a practice space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
All right. Speak as Gaia. Wow. Yeah.
I think that could be like a 24/7 practice, to be honest. Like I
Yeah.
will take that with me this week, and just whenever I'm standing with somebody and speaking, I would just be like pinging myself, okay, now I'm gonna just let Gaia speak and
Yeah.
see how it goes.
Yeah. There's like this way that there are these clear practice space where the purpose is to practice, and then the experiment is go out in the world and do it, and then come back to the practice space and share what you discovered and hear what others discovered, and then go out and do it again. And it's like this, like heart gym. We go to the heart gym and we speak from our feelings, and then we go in the world and we do it or we don't do it. We learn. We're learning how to do it, starting in these clear, distinct spaces and spreading that cultural reality into more spaces to kind of overgrow patriarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say that I've been doing like environmental work for decades, and I want to feel my fear around being bigger, like, and I've been afraid to really be big and loud and angry. But I feel that inside, so that's what I want to work on. The fear that stops me,
Yeah.
because I want
Oh,
to be bigger. I
go,
want to be
go,
loud.
John.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. I love it. Because I think you have done Rage Club, right? You
Yeah,
more than the one I was with you at. And I think this is how it goes. You do Rage Club, and then you start to feel more your fear of actually using your voice that you find in Rage Club. So then maybe you need a Fear Club. And it's like rage and fear working together while sadness and joy kind of swing in and out. And this is what this is partly where this space also came from, was create these smaller spaces where it's a taste of Rage Club. And then and then rage clubs and fear clubs and other spaces evolve, and more people can come into them. So this was, Jorge and I will do another delivery of this taste of Rage Club, which is called Find Your Real Voice, in something like 2 weeks.
April
And
12th.
yeah, April 12th. And this is, this is part of this game world building that I'm doing, building a Rage Club game world with a Bridge House game world, and empowering other people in other places to also do that, so that more of us can have a Bridge House to live in, and Rage Club, experienced Rage Club people nearby who we can keep doing more experimenting with. And this is my plan for how Arcan culture overgrows patriarchy.
Yeah, and this game worlds, it's like when people go to the edge of modern culture, they don't have anywhere else to go into. Like they reach and then there's just emptiness, and then these spaces like Rage Club and the Breach House are creating these spaces for where you can like actually have a place for landing. Like okay, like this, like we've been working outside of this context, and now there is a space for landing. And yeah, this I love this taste of Rage Club spaces that are creating these there's very practical things and are creating like these shorter spaces, and that they can create like that space. Like okay, like there's so much more in the introduction to Rage Club and distinctions, and there is even so much more in a full Rage Club series. So these spaces are also invitations for participating in those spaces.
Yeah.
Where you can get your voice back, your authority back, your center back.
One thing I want to also bring before we end is that some clarity I have is that every space that I'm a part of, whether I'm the space holder, a space holder, or a participant, this is a collaborative creation. And as at what then comes is that the recording is also, we created this recording together. And so my proposal is that each of us four, we relate to the recording of this call that we created together as an offering that we each have in our hands as a link, and that we share it. We say, like, I created this with 3 other people, and will you watch it?
Cool.
It's about discovering your real voice, and I don't even want to tell you how it went, because except that it was legendary. And then, and as a seed to put in the relational space with other people. If they watch it or not, great. If they watch it and never talk to you about it, great. If they watch it and talk to you and have questions and ask for something, great. And yeah, it's like it can be a seed. And so my proposal is there any resistance to Jorge is the one who has the technical side of it, but making this available to us, each of us who want it, either as a link or a file. And then if it's a file, I can, for example, put it in my own YouTube channel and send it out in my newsletter, or send it out to people I think might be interested in the next one. Is there any resistance to using this link that way? Great, thank you.
Well, good.
I would like the file, please. So I will upload it on my YouTube.
Yeah,
I was thinking I cut a piece off and I put my piece on my social media, and then I'm sure people will be like, "What's happening there? What is this?" And yeah.
Yes, this would be another part of it, is that each of us can use it how we want, as long as we're not changing it somehow into something else. Like, but yeah, editing a part down, cutting it out, using shorter pieces as something to give. I probably won't do that myself, because I don't want to do lots of editing work. And maybe I will. Maybe I'll cut down a version of it too.
yeah, that sounds, I'm in. And what I'm getting from reading the space is that we're at the tip of the iceberg. Like there is really like there's really like uncovering so much of like holy, like your voice. You have a voice. You have things that you want to say. You have so much inside you that you've been like stuffing down since the day you were born, and that you came here for a purpose. and that you can see everything that's happening around you. You can see this stuff. You can sense it. You're connected with Gaia. You're a sentient being, and this and that holy, like, holding space for your voice to come alive is one of the biggest things that you can do for the world, for your family, for your community, for yourself.
For your sanity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
it's
yeah.
fun.
But
It's so much fun, right?
And it's
Yeah.
fun.
Like this is really it for me, whether it works or not, to save the world or to end war or to give my children a future. This is what I choose because it is high level fun.
Yes. Yes.
I'm excited about doing more and
Yeah.
excited about sharing it.
Yeah.
Feels
Cool.
like a wake up call that we were talking about. We were wanting so much to wake up.
Yes, to be alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Wout, for really honing in on the purpose of the call and creating that opening for us to do that speaking. And Jorge, thank you for everything you've been doing about archetypal music and voice. And John, thank you for everything you're doing. I mean, I'm so stoked. 3 of us in this call are from Western Canada. And oh, it's just like,
Yes.
what a relief. That was
and
sharp.
0 from Belgium, and I'm working on it. Or 1 from Belgium, but 0 others.
Yes, go Belgium.
Go Belgium.
I'm in a Belgian bridge house, by the way, if you didn't know. So I'm working on it. Yeah.
Wow. Have
What's
you
the
talked
name?
to Aeon?
Aeon? I don't know Aeon. No. I met
Okay, I will
Gunnar's
connect
place.
you.
Gunnar and Judith. Maybe you know them.
No, I don't.
What's the name of the
Okay, our
bridge house?
time is up. Thank you so much. Ah, I love being
Thank you,
here.
Nicole. Thank you, Jorge. Thank you, Walt.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
I'll send
Thank
you some
you.
money. Okay.
Alrighty. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye for now.